Hey, what's up, guys? GrowMoreStressLess here, and I'm coming with a new podcast. And in this podcast, I'll have crop steering tech uh,
Hi
on
guys.
on Instagram. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and he's posting a lot of great information on there. So I speak with him on DMs on Instagram, and decided to make a podcast and talk about growing and life in general, and we'll discover who he is, what he's doing, and also we'll discover who Grow More Stressless is. So let's get it going. So thank you for coming on my podcast and joining me here. What's your name? What you are doing? What you are passionate about? What we can talk on this podcast?
So my name is Waylon. I started the Crop Steering Tech Instagram page just pretty much because I wanted to share information with the general growing community and help them. I'm specialized in integrated pest management. I have my pesticide applicator's license. I've had it for 2 years. Um, I've been growing in the legal industry in Denver, Colorado for 6 years now. I loved every minute of it, still love it. Just continuing to thrive and just enjoying every minute of life and this community. So yeah, let's get this started, buddy.
Oh, that's amazing, man. I'm so glad that I'm talking with a passion person because passion is the root of every great thing that happen on this world. So let's get this going. So how did you get start growing? What make you start growing?
Well, I've always been interested in plants. Growing a garden with my parents, tomatoes, peppers, this and that. Um, so I've always been passionate about plants and growing. I started growing my first cannabis plants when I was in seventh grade, so really, really early, pretty much doing tons and tons of research. I always thought I knew everything, and then every year I proved myself wrong. There's always so much more to learn, so much more knowledge to give. Um, so yeah,
That's right, man. That's exactly right. Like whenever you reach that mindset that you know everything, that's when you get stuck, and that's when you
exactly.
stop progressing, right? Because life it's all about learning. You cannot stop learning. When you stop learning, you stop progressing.
Right. All right. So I want to ask you a question. I've been following you for a while now. I think about like a year or more now. Back when you only had like 5,000 followers or something, when you were growing the super silver haze, dude, looked amazing. I'd followed every single step of your journey since then. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Who is Grow More Stress Less?
My background is I'm coming from Europe, Eastern Europe. More specifically, I'm from Romania, and I had a pretty rough growing up. My father used to be an alcoholic, and we had a rough upcoming. I think that influenced my whole life because when you are growing in a unstressed environment and you have everything that you need, you don't have what to fight for. You don't have what to go after because you already got everything and you are not happy with anything. So my whole like childhood, I was trying to do something greater than my family did. I tried to be someone that go farther than my family went. And at 14 years old, I was pretty confused about life, but I knew that I want to do something. And I discovered bodybuilding. That thing clicked with me right away. I fixed a goal at 14 years old. I was looking at all those posters on the walls of bodybuilders, professional bodybuilders, and I said to myself, I want to be a professional bodybuilder one day. I'll do whatever it takes to become a professional bodybuilder, no matter what, which seemed like a almost impossible goal to achieve. coming from Romania was no shows that you can become professional bodybuilder in my country or even in Europe. So the only way to become a professional bodybuilder is to come to US and compete with the best of the best and get your professional card. So since then, I had that plan in my mind. I planted that seed in my mind. At 20 years old, working hard and winning contest after contest, I had the opportunity to come here in US and compete in a bodybuilding show. So I took that opportunity and I got my visa because if you're coming from Europe, you need a visa to come into US. You can
Right.
not just come. You need a visa. I come into US with only $700 in my pocket, a luggage full of clothes, and a lot of dreams in my mind, you know? And my rent was like $800 a month. I was like, how I will gonna survive? I was not even speaking English, so how I can survive? And I make it happen. I made it happen. I survive. I did whatever it took to survive after 17 years chasing this dream and having this dream with a lot of obstacles. I got my pro card after 17 years. Right after that, after I reached my lifetime goal that I created at 14 years old, I kind of lost myself, you know? And I feel that people, if they don't have a goal in life, if they don't have a purpose, they are kind of lost in life. They don't know what to do. That's why so many people are depressed in the days that we live right now, because they don't have a purpose, they don't have a dream, they don't have a goal that in their mind to chase, you know? So if you don't have nothing to chase, you are kind of lost. You are just going with the flow. And I knew that I need to find another purpose in life, and I knew that I need to find another passion to chase, because that will be the only way for me to be happy with myself. I was always a smoker because smoking cannabis helped me with my bodybuilding career as well, because bodybuilding, it's not easy. It's very taxing on the body. It's
Yeah.
like if you do it at a high level, it's very taxing on the body. You have to push weights, you have to train like 2 hours a day in the gym, you have to do cardio 2 hours, endure all that like diet. It's a 24-hour job. Bodybuilding was very taxing on my body. I had a lot of pain and aches, like was very hard for me from all the supplements and all the stimulants that I was taking to train hard, to go to back to sleep. So I was using cannabis to relax myself, to sleep. I was using cannabis to take the pain away, and it helped me to reach my goal. So I was already a smoker and a user of cannabis, and one day one of my friends introduced me to growing cannabis. He was like, look, you can take a plant and you can grow your own medicine, you know? And I took 3 clones from a guy. I took 3 clones and I throw them in my closet and I start growing. I got some CFL lights from Home Depot. I start with like two CFL lights, 25 watts, and like above each plant. So I was having like 50 watts under each clone, and then the plants were growing, and I was like researching every day, and every night. Like I was spending like most of my nights like researching like what's the best light, what's the best nutrients, what's the best environment, what's the best, like, you know, that passion start firing on myself. And that's how I started learning about growing. And from just few CFL lights, I end up my first grow with like 30 CFL lights and DY light. I made the DY CFL light, and that's how I start growing. From that point on, I knew that that will be my passion. That's my passion, and that's how I start Grow More Stress Less on YouTube. When people see Grow More Stress Less, they think just about growing cannabis. But
Yeah.
when I choose that name, I was thinking a lot more than growing cannabis, because I'm not just about growing cannabis. I'm about growing mentally, growing spiritually, growing physically, and growing in all the aspects of your life, not just growing plants. I'm growing plants. I'm growing. I'm growing animals. I'm growing my children. I have two children, 3 months old and a 5.5 years old, and I'm doing my best to be the best father that I can be, and grow my children into very good human beings. Growing is not just about growing plants, it's about growing like everything in your life. Because when you stop growing, you cannot just stay the same. You cannot just stay the same. You either grow or you go backwards. And what's the opposite of growing? The opposite of growing in my mind, it's dying. So if you
Yeah.
are not growing, you are dying. So that's my goal, to grow and reach as many people as possible with my message, with my growing skills, with everything that I'm doing.
That's
So
fantastic,
pretty
bro.
much that.
That is such an inspirational story about how you came here, and wow. That's fucking fantastic.
I want to introduce a little bit myself because I never did it, but
Yeah.
let's get into growing stuff because that's what people are interested in.
That story that you told is extremely inspirational. Where you came from, Romania, you only had $700, didn't even speak English. Um, that's such an inspirational story. They say the top of one mountain, the bottom of another. So when you reach your goal, when you got your pro card, you didn't know what to do. You found another goal, something to keep you driven, something to keep you going. That's extremely important in life. I couldn't agree more with what you said. You did a post a while back about growing, um, taking care of your body, taking care of your health. How can you focus and take care of plants if you can't take care of yourself, you know? So that really rang true to me. I've always been about health, and I went to school for nutrition and dietetics. So let's talk a little bit about your stance on health and bodybuilding and how it relates to you growing cannabis.
That's a great question, man. So first of all, I want to say that bodybuilding, it's not a healthy sport. Like any sport that you push at like performance level is not a healthy sport. Because I was pushing my body like to extreme to compete with the best. So bodybuilding is not like, if you're doing bodybuilding professionally and you want to reach the top of the top, you are not going towards health. So this is one of the reasons that I retire bodybuilding, because now that I reach 30 years old and I have two children, I want to stick in this life for as long as possible, because I want to see my children grow and have children, and I want to be happy and I want to be part of their life, and I want to educate my child. So I want to stick here on this world for as long as possible. So now my focus is health, is not bodybuilding anymore. It's health. And focusing on health and nutrition and bodybuilding helped me understand the plants a lot more. It comes so naturally for me, understanding plants and how plants uh, feed themselves and how plants thrive from the nutrition like human body, because human body and plants are in a lot of ways similar. Nutrition play a huge role in plant development and expression. If you want to have your body healthy, you want to have the best nutrition possible, and also you want to be in a healthy environment. And same with the plants. If you want your plants to be healthy and produce the best possible medicine, you want to feed your plants the best nutrition possible and put them in the best environment possible so they can thrive, right? And
Absolutely.
I feel that if you cannot take care of your body, if you don't know to take care of your body, how you can take care of the plants? Because If you are not feeling good in your body, how you can go on your grow and make your plants happy and thriving? It's hard. It's hard.
Absolutely. I noticed that you started a breeding project recently. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I started growing this plant and I got very passionate about growing cannabis, right? But
Right.
I didn't see like bigger picture. I wanted more. I wanted to create something bigger, you know? And that's how I said
Okay.
I need to I want to create something. I want from my hands not just to grow a plant and create like a good quality flower for my community, like because that was my first initial goal. I want to get a license, I want to pay taxes, I want to serve my community, I want to offer the best medicine to my community. But now I have a bigger goal. I want to create strains, like unique strains that can be grow all over the world, you know? They they can leave a legacy behind, you know? I want to be a creator, you know? I want to be a creator. I want to create something big. I want to create strains that express themselves in unique ways and help people in different ways, you know, like medical ways, mental ways. And for example, let me give you an example. Cannabinoids and terpenoids take a big play on this. So if you study terps, you find that we have all kinds of terps, and that's influence the properties of the plant. For example, lavender will give you like lavender terp will give you a relaxing feel. And now you take the lavender terp, you find that in a unique strain, and you cross it with some CBD or CBG, or the future is
Mm-hmm.
bright, man. We just scratch the surface. We just know THC, CBD, CBN. We know just a handful, but there are so many cannabinoids that we can top in, and we can create amazing medicine, amazing natural medicine that everybody can tap in, you know, instead of going into the pharmacy and getting synthetic medicine. They can tap into the natural, because nature is never wrong. We try to create synthetic medicine to cure that and that and that and that. That's all good, but most of the times people do more harm with medicine than good. If you try to find the answer to any of your problems, you look in nature. You know, you look in nature,
Right.
and you'll find
Absolutely.
your answer.
So, your newest breeding project, you're breeding Super Boof, or was that the last project?
So on my first project, I breed just three strains. I reverse the Tropicana cherry and I cross it with the Super Boof.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cut that Mobile J found from a pack of seeds, and it's amazing. That's my favorite strain. So I crossed the Tropicana cherry with Super Boof and with white truffle,
Nice.
and also cross it back with Tropicana cherry to create Tropicana cherry S1 seeds. You know. Now on my second breeding project, I decide to breed more plants, and I went with 11 strains.
Wow.
On my second breeding project, I crossed the Super Boof, which is my favorite strain of all the time. I cross it back with all the cuts that I had on my library at the moment, and I cross it with Ice Cream Cake, Animal Tree number 13, which is a Seed Junkie genetic strain, Oreos, Mac 1, Pure Michigan, White Truffle, Sherp Cake, and again, Super Boof to create Super Boof S1 seeds, Tropicana Cherry, Hot Mints, and Chapo Churros, which is a triple OG. So I'm super excited about this second breeding project. I'm super excited
Yeah,
about
lots of fire.
this now that I know that I can create some good seeds, and I test my seeds. I germinate the Super Buff Cherry, which is the Super Buff cross with Tropicana Cherry. I got 99% germination rate. The plants are looking amazing. I'm hunting the Super Buff Cherry myself. I share it with a lot of people as well. So now I'm confident on my breeding skills. Everything went well, because if you put your mind to something, it is no limit that you can achieve, right? So
Right.
now that I have my second breeding project and I cross all those amazing strains, I was meditating just a few days ago, and I was like, how I can serve my community and how I can create something bigger than I am right now. And my goal with this second breeding project is that 50% of the strains to give them away to people to grow them, you know? I
Absolutely.
want to give like at least 50% of the strains that of the seeds that I'll get on my second breeding project. I want to share it with people. I want to share it with growers, with good growers. That's one of my purpose, and that's something that will get me closer to my goal, giving back like something. I feel that I give back a lot of information, but I also want to give back some material things, and I'm always thinking about how I can serve my community, my cannabis community, and how I can give back to my community, because when you give something that you work hard for it, because I work super hard for this breeding project, when you give back something that you work hard from it and you don't ask nothing in return, you become a magnet. You attract everything that you want, and I feel that will get me closer to my goal. I will attract everything that I need to reach my goal. I will attract the right people. I will attract the right everything. So that's my goal, to give as much as I can back, and I feel that if I cannot give back now when I'm super small, and if I'm at the beginning and I just get going, if I cannot give back now, you cannot give back when you are big, because you want more and more and more. So my goal is to always give something back from what I got.
Absolutely. That's a great mindset to have. As far as the breeding goes, I want to talk a little bit about reversing the plants. How do you do?
Reversing the plants and breeding, it's a pretty easy process in general. Like in general, it's a very easy project. Like I always correlate plants with humans, right? Everybody can make kids. Most of the people can make kids, but that doesn't mean they will create the best kids possible. The strongest kids possible, the kids that will be
Right.
resilient, the kids that they want. To create kids, you need to put a lot of work, because that's your future, and
Right.
whatever you put into your kids, that's what you get out. So it's the same thing with breeding. Breeding, it's easy, but you don't put the work, you don't put the passion, you don't put the effort, you don't put the mindset, you don't put the passion behind it, you'll get whatever. Let's get back to information right now, because I'm talking about mindset and mind in general. But breeding, you just go ahead and you get your reversal spray, or you make your own reversal spray. It's a silver trisulfate spray. So if you look on the internet, if you type plant reversal spray, or for example 20 Mendocino reversal spray, you'll find this spray. It's cheap. It's $30, and with one of this spray you can reverse one of the plants. So you get your spray, you have your plant that you plan on reversing. So basically you have your female plant and you try to make a male plant. That's not a natural process, so you have to put some chemicals to reverse that plant and make it male. But I believe that's a good way to breed, because you get the best phenotype. You flower
Right.
that plant before, and you know the potential, you know the genetic of that plant. So if you know the genetic of that plant and you reverse it, the genetic that you'll put on. So you get your spray, you spray your plant that you want to reverse, like separate from your grow, because you don't want to accidentally spray your other plants. You want to reverse only one plant. and you spray that plant like in your bathroom or whatever. You let that dry and you spray the plant for the first 3 weeks of flower. After those 3 weeks, the plant, instead of making flowers, is making pollen sacs. When the plant's having pollen sacs and those pollen sacs start to open, you just get your plant and you try to blow that pollen on your other plants. You either can put a fan blowing on your plant and spreading the pollen on your whole tent, or you can just take your plant and shake it above the other plants or blow it on the other plants. And that's how the pollen spread and pollinate your female plants, because that's how it happened in nature. The male, it's growing, making pollen sacs, and the wind blow and pollinate the other plants, or insects come and take the pollen and go and pollinate. But indoor, we are the nature, right? We need to do the work that nature is doing outdoors. So pretty much that's it. That's how you reverse your plants. You start with good genetics. You reverse your plant that you want to become a male and make pollen, and you cross with other genetics that you have available.
So you
That's how
mentioned you mentioned that you like to make sure that your plants are in tip-top health when you do your breeding projects. What kind of protocols or what do you do to make sure your plants are in tip-top health?
important to have your plants in tip-top condition, because that's the main thing that people need to understand. So getting back to humans, like I said, everybody can make kids, right? But if the person that decide to have kids are not healthy, the genetic expression of their kids will be unhealthy kids, right? You cannot take two unhealthy parents and create a healthy child, because it's not working that way.
Right.
We have in our body and in the plant's body, we have genetic and epigenetic. So let's take genetic. Genetic is the DNA, right? Is the DNA. Everybody, we have like trillions of DNA like put together. But we are not only the genetic, we are the genetic expression of that DNA, because the DNA can be turned on or off by environment and by nutrition. So let's make people understand. Genetic, for example, it's the piano. You have a very nice piano, right? You pay $10,000 for a piano. So you have a very nice genetic. That's the genetic, the piano. But who play that piano is the epigenetic. And the person that play the piano, it's as important as the piano. Because if somebody who don't know to play piano go and play piano in a very nice piano, the music will not be a good music, right? So that's when nutrition and genetic and environment come into place, and health come into place. If you want to create a good genetic, you need to have your plants in perfect conditions, perfect health condition. Before, as I did with my wife when we create our kids, I made sure that my wife has the best nutrition possible. She doesn't have any mineral deficiencies. Plants are the same way. If they have different mineral deficiencies like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, you name it, that will go into the seeds. So you cannot create amazing seeds with unhealthy plants, even if you have good genetics. I knew that from the beginning, and my main goal with the breeding was to make sure that my plants are 100% healthy and they are in the best environment that I can create for them. I'm going back to my growing skills. I'm making sure that my pH of my medium, it's in the perfect condition. How you make sure that the plants have everything that you need? You check the runoff. Because as humans, we can do blood work and we can see we have magnesium deficiency, we have vitamin D deficiency, we have calcium deficiency. How you do blood work for your plants. You check the runoff and you know exactly what's on the medium. Maybe you don't know what percentage of each mineral is, but if you always water to runoff and you replace those minerals in the medium, you kind of know. If you use a good nutrient company, you kind of know that you have everything you need. Now you need to make sure that the minerals are not too little or not too high on the medium, and the
Right.
pH is in the perfect range. Because if your plants don't have enough minerals, they will express like deficiencies. But most important that people don't realize is that the deficiencies most of the time with the plants are happening because you have too much of the minerals in the medium, and that block the absorption of the water, that block the plant from taking water from the medium and pulling it into the leaf. Plants are feeding by osmosis. Wherever the salt is, the water will follow.
Right.
Okay, so if you have too much salt into the medium, the water will stay into the medium, will not go through the plant to feed the plant and transpire. So you want to make sure that your medium has enough nutrients, but not too much. Enough for the osmosis to happen, for the plant to pull the water and the minerals into the leaves and transpire, but not too much. Because if you have too much minerals into the medium, the water will stay to the medium, and then your plant cannot drink water anymore because the water will get stuck into the medium, into the roots, will get stuck there. The transport of water into the leaves and buds will slow down. And that's how the plants are getting mineral deficiencies. Not because the plant don't have minerals into the medium, just because it has too much and the plant cannot transpire anymore and pull the minerals into the plants. When people talk about feeding, they think about like food for humans. You eat food to get energy, but actually the food of the plants, it's the light, not the minerals. It's a big difference, because we eat minerals, we eat calcium, magnesium, all those, and are super important for our body, but is not the energy for our body, is not our food. Our food, it's calories, protein, fats, carbs, fiber, right?
Right.
For the plants, the food is the light, you know, the photons of the light, it's the food of the plants. So now that I talk about the minerals, now I'm talking about light. You need to make sure that you have the right amount of light, because if the plant's getting too much light, they will get stressed out and they will not be healthy. They will express all kinds of deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, because you stress them with too much light. And that's a big thing that people don't realize. They try to push their light because they think more light will equal more yield or whatever they think. But I believe that giving the plants the right amount of light, it's key for keeping your plants healthy. And if you want the best seeds, the best plants, the best harvest, you need to keep your plants healthy. That's the most important thing. You need to keep your plants healthy. So giving your plants the right amount of light, it's another thing that I think is very important for growing and breeding as well. So I make sure that I keep my lights at the right amount of light. And most often people use too much than too little light.
So you're making sure every part of the environment is you're making sure that every part of the environment is in balance. The light, PPFD, the vapor pressure deficit, the VPD, your EC in the medium, you're checking the runoff. I love the blood test analogy. um, So you're making sure all those things are in check, making sure the plant is at its tip-top health. So if you were growing super boof in your tent and all the environment is on point, all those genetic expressions are coming out. You're seeing the true genetic expression of that plant. I bring that exact same plant over to Colorado. I grow it outside. The flower is going to be completely different. I might not even call it super boof because the genetic expression is completely different. So all of that makes perfect sense to me. Um, let's talk about a little bit about how you manage pests. Have you ever had any pests in your garden that you've had to take care of?
Before I'm going to the next subject past, I want to make another
Yep.
point on a plant expression, like phenotype expression, and how important environment is. Every time
Awesome.
I try to find the answer for my plants, I'm getting back to my knowledge about the human body. So, for example, you take two siblings that are identical. You
Yeah.
take two twins and you separate them at birth. One grow in a family and the other grow in another family like 10,000 miles away. When those childs are 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 reunited, there are like a lot of study on this, a lot of study.
Yes.
So when those childs like reunite 20 years later, they are two different person. One can be fat, one can be skinny, one can be broke, one can be rich, one can be super healthy, one can be super sick, and they have the same exact genes, but environment change the expression of their genes, you know?
Right.
That's why environment is as important as the genetic, you know?
Right.
So now let's getting back to pest management. So for pest management, I'm against all the like heavy pesticides that
Yep.
are on the market right now because you use pesticides, you take away their plant defense mechanisms to fight pest. You know, plants has their own defense mechanisms to fight pest. That's why the plants are making THC, CBD, terps, all kinds of stuff. It's to protect themselves from pests, plants cannot relocate themselves. Like wherever they sprout, that's how they will stay for the rest of the life. So they need to create different defense mechanisms to fight. So my pest management is like I'm trying to keep my plants as healthy as possible,
Right.
and I spray them. I spray them with things that make them healthier.
Yes.
Not 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 things that kill the pest, things that help my plants fight the pathogens better. So I spray them with different, like, for example, I had HydroGuard, which is a bacterial product. That I have a Power SI, that it's a silica product, a seaweed extract. So I'm trying to go and make my plants healthy. Pest, first of all, pest attacks mostly plants that are unhealthy. The first thing that they go for are plants that are unhealthy. They are
Right.
not going for healthy plants first. They are going for weak plants. That's how the plant and the plant and animal kingdom work. When a predator attack an animal, they looking for the weaker, sicker like animal to attack because that's the easiest prey. No, so that's the
Exactly.
easiest prey for the bugs, the weak plants. So if you have your plants healthy and you try to build their health with, like I said, Power SI silica product, seaweed extract. Power SI is coming with a new product called Renew. That it's another good product. That's it's a seaweed extract, like different bacteria that will help their plant immune system. And then on top of that, I add predators. Like I add different predators, like
Yep.
different mites and different things that are good good predators that can fight against bad, it's like I have an army that work for me and fight the bad guys.
Right.
The good guys are the good predators that I put myself intentionally there, because in nature you have a balance. You have different insects that are fighting, that are eating the bad insects.
Right.
Mostly, actually none of them are bad. It's just a biosis. Like everybody is working with everybody to creating like symbiotic. But
Right.
here in like indoor, when you grow indoor, you can kind of like cut that symbiosis, and you try to put like the good guys in there so they protect your crop from bad guys.
Right.
Now, now that I answered to these questions, I want to ask you,
Yeah.
what's your strategy? Because you are the expert on pest management and how you approach this situation.
Well, I want to have to use pesticides unless they're absolutely necessary. I will say, working in the industry, the legal industry in Colorado, and some of the places that I've worked coming into, it's been pretty bad. Spider mite webs on every single plant, powdery mildew everywhere. At that point, you can't really think about, like, okay, I got to make these plants healthier. At that point, you just got to hit them hard with something. Um, but all that aside, an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. So when you're starting your garden, make sure your environment is on point. Pathogens thrive in the greenhouse or garden environment. It's hot, it's humid. Um, so those things just naturally grow. So you have to constantly be thinking about how you're going to clean, sanitize your environment, make sure that there's no pathogens. Actually, I saw that on you have a hydro store now, so I saw that you sell the Hydro Guard. So the Hydro Guard is a system that releases a gas into the air that it's a 4D sanitation system. So you're cleaning hard surfaces, you're sanitizing your plants, your canopy, um, you're sanitizing your water, but you're also sanitizing the air at the same time. So that's your 4D sanitation. Um, Ensuring all those steps are taken before you start your garden, making sure that all those SOPs are in place is the first thing. Um, Secondly, I love preventative, beneficial insects. I always go extra hard on the insects. Um, I will say battled I've battled normal foliar aphids, I've battled root aphids, I've battled thrips and mites. Um, Root aphids are the hardest I've ever had to take care of. You nearly have to burn the facility down or clean entire rooms out, which could be hard to do in legal facilities. They're constantly in production, so it's hard to clear everything out. That's why an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. I used rove beetles and Hypoapsis mites for the media, and then I use Californicus fallacious mites will attack spider mites in the canopy, and then Swirsky for thrips. And I also utilize Sanidate and Zerotol, products like that for hard surface cleaning. There's also some other good products and companies out there. Garden Clean is another company. They make a chlorine gas that's a lot safer than Zerotol, um, that you can use to sanitize, and they have another 4D sanitation um, program. I also use systemic fungicides because when you're growing in a huge garden and it's constant and you're always taking cuts from the same plants, eventually pathogens are going to get into those plants and cause what a lot of people like to call genetic drift. Um, I like to call it like loss of vigor over time. So you're cutting on the same plant multiple times. Um, pathogens are getting into that plant, and eventually you throw it in a flower and it's just not giving you the genetic expression that you wish. By utilizing systemic fungicides such as regalia, um, you're activating you're activating the plant's natural immune response to fight off pathogens, root rot causing diseases such as Pythium and Fusarium. Uh, Biosafe, a company that makes Xerotol, also makes another systemic fungicide called Oxyphos, which I really, really like. I'll spray Oxyphos, Xerotol, and Regalia all together, and that sanitizes the canopy and just helps keep your plants disease free. So that's my that's my protocol.
That's amazing, man, and I think that's a huge piece of information right here. So people need to watch this part when you talk about all those products and start, if they care enough about them, start researching every each of them because
Exactly.
there there are all of them. There are amazing products, and most of them I utilize them in my garden as I'm we talk right now.
Right.
So that's an amazing piece of information.
Um,
That's
so
great.
so I see that you sell the HydroGuard. You have a new hydro store. That's extremely exciting, bro. Tell me a little bit more about it.
I partner with Andrew from Extreme Farming, and we created a company called Grow More Extreme. So we got a website called GrowMoreExtreme.com. It's very hard those days to find a good partner with a good intention, and as soon as I got in contact and I start talking with Andrew over a year ago, we actually click very good because he has the same mindset like I do have, and his mindset is to first of all we need to create value and we need to give the best the best customer service to our clients. That's our main goal on the on with the website and with the company in general. I was tired on going on the hydro shops and getting like very bad customer service. Like people, they didn't care. They were not passionate. They were in the hydro shop selling stuff just to sell and just for money. They
Right.
were there just to make a living, right? And I was tired of that, and I said, if I will ever get into this business of hydroponic uh, growing equipment, growing stuff, I want to create value for my customers and I want to offer them the best customer service. And me and Andrew, we are on the same page on that. We want to put everything into the customer service. So we create this website, Grow More Extreme, and we are a small business at the beginning. We just make the website live just like a little bit over a week ago. So we are at the beginning, but I really believe in this project because, like I said, it's coming from passion and from my heart. And like I said, our goal is to create value to our customers. And on the website, we'll only carry products that we really believe on. So we will not put like everything just to make a profit. If a product we don't believe it's good or is not worth people buying it, will not have it on the website, even if we can make a profit on it. Because I want
Right.
my customers to be like, yeah, all the products that you have on the website are amazing. And most of the products that I have on the website are products that I use on my garden and
Right.
Andrew use, you know. And when people buy from the store, they are buying directly from us. They are not going to a big company and trying to buy, and they have like employees that are just employees. They just like salesperson. We are growers, right? We are growers, and we try to help growers to succeed, and that's how our goal, making growers succeed. That's the main goal. Because if I sell you something, that a good product that it's very good, and you succeed on your grow, you will come back to me and try to get more good products, so you go further and you get bigger and bigger, and you reach your goal. You are happy, I'm happy, because I'm making sales, and it's a win-win for both. you know
Yep. I
that's our
love it.
goal. So when a person come on the website and order, I'll get a email with the order. Or if a person have questions, they just go on the website, and at the bottom of the website we have the website, or they can subscribe to our mailing list. And we planning to put a lot of information on the mailing list, and all the new stuff that we put on the website, all the new promotions. Also, like I said, my mindset is the more you give, the more you'll get back. Giving will attract everything that you're looking for. Being grateful and giving back to the community will help me achieve my goal. And my goal is to create a strong community and give back to the people. So the bigger the site will grow, the more sales we'll make, the more we'll give back. That's my goal, and that's what I'll go for. So if people want to go on the website, and even they just go on the website, check it out. You don't have to buy anything from the website. Just check it out and go at the bottom of the website, put your email. I promise that I will not spam you. I'll just send emails with real information, or real promotion, or real giveaways that will do, giving back to the community. And just go and put your email in there, and as soon as I will have the opportunity to give back, I'll give back. I promise that. That's my goal. So, like I said, go on the website and check it out and see what we are all about. We try to. It's very hard as a small business to compete with the big businesses. With, for example, a Grow Generation, or because they get like bulk, they get a whole container at a time, and they can make their own price. But it also, we have what's called map price. It's the minimum price advertised. And Grow Generation or any other website on the internet cannot advertise lower than that price. And all our prices on the website, or most of them, hopefully all of them, are map prices. So there are the lowest prices that you can find on the internet. And if you find something cheaper, maybe you can email me and say, hey, look, this website sell this for cheaper. Maybe I can go ahead and look what I can do for you and help you get a better price that's on website. I don't promise nothing, but I'll do my best, because like I said,
Yeah.
my main goal is to promote value, to give value to my customers.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I love your mindset. I think that we all can agree that it's a fantastic idea, and I'm behind you 100%. What's the website? Is growmoreextreme.com?
Yeah. So me and Andrew decide that Grow More Extreme. So Grow More is coming from my side, Grow More, and he got Extreme Farming. So we went Grow More Extreme. So we are half partners on the company. We own half and half. It's 50-50%. Actually, we
Yeah.
don't own anything right now. It's just a website. So we don't own
Yeah.
anything right now. This is just a website, a company that it's at the beginning. Like I said, we try to compete with big guys. And if people um, believe in my vision and believe in me, and want to support me, I encourage them to go on my website and just check it out. Maybe instead of going on the bigger websites where you do your shopping for your hydro store, maybe you can come in a small business, like a grower website, and you can buy the stuff from me. Maybe I can take your business, maybe I can offer you more value than your your current person that you take your stuff from it's offering you.
I love it. Yeah.
Now I think we talk a lot about my goals, my plans, my. I want to get back to you, and I want to ask, what are your goals? What you try to achieve? Where can people can find you? Because I know that your page it's putting a ton of good information, a lot of good growing stuff. So what's your goal with your page?
The main goal has just been to give knowledge out to people and help them, um, to get people to start looking at growing and looking at growing in a different way. Hopefully, that there's some information that they can use that will help them, in the same way that I wish that I had that information. Um, Pretty much the goal for the page is to eventually create my own online store. And also on the same website will be consulting. I'm hoping to do consulting, um, across the world, um, specifically integrated pest management and pathogen control, um, or just overall like building facilities, dialing in environments, um, upgrading their tech, um, all sorts of things like that. I'm starting to really get into irrigation and irrigation theory, um, crop steering, all of those things. Pretty much just helping people is the goal of the page. Um, Eventually, I'll create my own consulting website where I can share information and try to make a living consulting. So,
That's an amazing goal, man. That's an amazing goal, and I can tell you that you start right. You start the right way, because the first thing that you need to do before you get something, because people when they think just like getting, but if you want to reach something great in life, you start by giving first. I like your idea, but I believe that you need to work more on your confidence, man, because you just not
yeah.
trying, you doing it. You doing it. You are not trying. You put a ton of information on your page, crop steering tech. You put a lot of amazing information, and I repost your post very, very often on my page because I believe you put out a ton of good information on there, and we all can learn from you. I encourage everyone, if they have questions or they need some help, to reach out to you. You are kind of an expert right now. You are an expert on this domain, and you are not just the expert, you are also passionate about. So you are the best person to go to. So I know that if I'll have a problem in my garden that I don't know how to resolve, I'll reach to you.
Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. And yeah, like if that I want everybody to just to be able to reach out to me if they need help. That's pretty much all I've been doing for the last year. Is answering DMs for free, helping people with whatever, giving them detailed information, SOPs, just helping people in any way that I can. Giving back as much as I can. Practicing Exactly. Practicing the consulting right now through Instagram. And that's the goal too. So I'm going to be making my website. I just got my computer and my monitor set up, finally. Um, I'm going to make some ebooks. So the ebooks are really simple to make. I found like some YouTube videos with like some free programs where you just fucking put it in there, and then I can put the ebook on the website, and then people can pay for the ebook like $20 or whatever. I'm like thinking about making some propagation, like a propagation ebook, and then just certain things like that, like little SOPs, like ebooks SOPs almost, you know what I mean? With videos or just like stuff like that. Yeah.
That's great. You put a lot of great free information, but if people want more details, what's $20 or $10, $15 is nothing, right?
Okay, so where can we find your hydro store? Where can people find you?
I want to be everywhere, and I want to help as many people as possible in many different ways, you know? It's a platform called Linktree. It's called Linktree. I have it on my
Okay.
Instagram bio, where you can go on that
Mm-hmm.
platform, make an account, pay a little bit of money, and then you can put all your links on there. So on my link tree, it's linktree/GrowMoreStressLess. I will leave in my description. I have it on my Instagram bio. So people can go on that link, click that link, and they can find everything about me. I have a link for my hydro store. I have a link for my YouTube page. I have a link for my Instagram page. I have a link for my Signal group, private group that I have. I have a link for my Discord. So everything that I'll create and everything that I'll do from now on regarding seeds, hydro, everything that I'm working on, I'll put the links on that one link. It's called linktree/GrowMoreStressLess. And then you can choose everything you want and reach me. I even have a link where people can click on and they can send me an email and come directly to my inbox. So if anybody has questions or want to reach me or find me, just go on Linktree and /GrowMoreStressLess and you can find everything that I'm doing there.
Awesome. So people want to find you, go to Linktree/GrowMoreStressLess. You can find all
Yeah.
your
Where people can find you, what are your Instagram accounts and what are your platforms that you are on?
So people can find me on Instagram at cropsteering_tech. That's my main Instagram. Um, I have a backup page called Crop Steering Plants, all one word, if you guys want to follow that too. Personal page is Grow and Goonie, all one word. That's just where I post all about life, investing, plants, everything, jokes, whatever. Um, that's where you can find me. There's plenty more content to come. Website's coming soon. Um, Thank you so much, brother, for having me. I appreciate it a lot. This has been great. There's going to be more podcasts to come, that's for sure. I'm excited.
That that's for sure. We have a lot to talk about, man. So a lot more podcasts to come. We don't try to bore people and talk about all the subjects in one podcast, but we'll talk more in the next podcast for sure. So if people can want to find you, I'll leave all the links on my description below as well. So was a pleasure to have you in my podcast, man, and I appreciate your time and thank you so much for having offering your time to be here in my podcast. Thank you. And for all the information that you put here as well.
Thank you for having me, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you for all your information, too.
Okay, guys, that was the podcast with Crop Steering Tech. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, grow more and stress less. Let's go.